Hello, this is your famous author coming to you live with another discussion. And today it's going to be a fun discussion because we're going to discuss comedy and Hollywood and movies in general. And most of this video will be about the state of our comedy today because this thing was bugging me so much that I just had to do a YouTube video on it because you know today's comedy. I mean, some of the stuff that we see on TV today that passes for comedy anyway. I mean, half the stuff is not even funny. I mean, because every other word is F this, F that. And I mean, you could, look, you could still do comedy. You can still do comedy and it's all right. But I mean, you don't have to use every other word to be, every other word doesn't have to be a four-letter word, just to get your point across. Now, I mean, there's this comedian that as a person she's okay. She has a disability, and I understand that she has a right to make a living, and she has a that she does have a right to make a living as a thing. As a thing, she does have a right to make a living, and she's making a great living at that. I'm not jealous of it. I support it, but in her comedy routines, I mean, I've seen her perform on YouTube, all that. Okay, her name is Maysoon Zayed by the way, but I mean, I've seen her perform comedy jokes on YouTube, and, and like on online platforms and all that stuff. But I have a question for everybody. I mean, do we have to use, may I say, profanity to actually be funny? I mean, look, my favorite comedy shows are for example, Sanford and Son, All in the Family, um, and some and maybe some other ones. But my two favorite shows are Sanford and Son and All in the Family. But for example, when you watch Sanford and Son, I know that these are all comedy, and some of you might say, Mark, what are you talking about? All that stuff. But I'm saying, did you ever hear Fred Sanford, or Red Fox for that matter, the actor who portrayed Fred Sanford? Did you ever hear him use profanity? I mean, yeah, he picked on poor Aunt Esther and his family members. But did you ever hear Carol O'Connor in All in the Family, for example? Did you ever hear him use a four-letter word, or like the F word, or so? I mean, yeah, he called his son-in-law a meathead, all that stuff. But you never heard him saying, he never used a four-letter word in any of his comedy sketches. Now, even for example, even the music today. I mean, does every other word have to be a curse word? And if people see, I feel like this. It, in my opinion, if somebody has to use in their music, or in their speech, or if, for example, even in comedy, if somebody uses four-letter words to get his point across, or even in his music, if every other word is the F word, ladies and gentlemen, then in my opinion, that just shows the level and education of that person, that he doesn't I mean, he might have a, that just tells me that yes, that person might have a lot of money. And look, personally, I'm a capitalist myself. Okay, I, as a book author, I'm trying to get ahead. All that stuff. That's fine. That's fine. All that stuff. And those, I'm not criticizing those comedians who do make a lot of money, because I mean we all live here in America, and we are entitled to make our lives better, to do what we have to do in order to improve our lives, all that stuff. But the question is, ladies and gentlemen, but the only pet peeve I have with it, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to comedy, when it comes to music, does every other word in a song, or even in a comedy sketch, does it always have to be the F word? I mean, you can still be funny. I get it. I bet you guys. I bet you guys, when you're watching my video here, find it funny. And sometimes sometimes the way I act, sometimes the way I talk. Some of you guys find it funny. Okay, but you never will hear me on my videos, to say the F word. I will never, I will criticize certain things, yes, and I will have an opinion piece on it, but I will give my opinions on, but you'll never hear me curse. You'll never, I don't, as a commentator or as a comedian, in my opinion, if a person's topics are good and his jokes are funny, he will never resort to using F word, because that using profanity or F word or anything else. So I'm gonna say goodbye, and please subscribe to my channel and tell me what you think of my videos. You can give me thumbs up, you can make a comment, whatever. And I do read them, and I appreciate them. Thank you very much.